Well, hey there everyone. Welcome to the last Halloween week where I will be making my last look for the Halloween season. So in the previous weeks, the first week I made a pirate look. The second week I made a ghost look, and then the last week I made 2 zombie looks. So this last week my classic Halloween costume is going to be a witch, but with a twist. So I was pondering my material and I had come across this green felt that I had, and I was like, I can make a witch hat out of that. So I think I'm gonna make a witch hat out of that, and that sparked an idea. So I think this week I'm going to be doing a nature witch. So my idea is to first, with the hat, to obviously make a witch hat, and then like decorate it to be all like witchy. So I think I'm gonna put some mushrooms on it. I think I'm gonna put some moss on it, and just nice like nature witch look. So that's my idea for the hat, and then for the rest of the outfit. So I had a lot of thinking to do for what I was gonna do for this witch outfit, because I feel like there isn't just like one, typical witch outfit to do or style to do. So I was looking at the patterns that I had, and one of them was this fairy costume. And I think one of the main things to do for this witch costume is to layer. So this fairy costume, I was looking at it and it had some nice layers. So I think I'm going to use that pattern for this. So it's tons of layers. So for the materials, underneath, I think I'm going to put the layered skirt that you saw in my ghost costume for more layers. So that's already made. And then, so the costume has this overshirt thing with 2 layers of skirt, and then a third skirt underneath, and then a corset. So I picked up two types of curtains from Goodwill the other day. One of them was this really pretty like brown curtain. There was 3 of them with like this nice little like flower pattern all over it. And then the other material that I got was this really pretty white lace. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to dye both of these materials because they weren't exactly the colors that I wanted. So yesterday I ended up dyeing these materials so they could hang up and dry so I could use them today. And so what I did is I took the white lace massive curtain and I ended up dyeing that green, just like a slight hint of green, and I threw a little bit of brown in there. I don't think I achieved the color that I necessarily wanted, but it's green. And then for the browns, so since the shirt kind of thing is 2 layers, I wanted the bottom layer to stay the original light tannish color, and then I wanted to dye the top layer just a little bit more brown. So that's what I did last night as well, and I think that turned out really pretty. So I'm excited to be using those 2 today. So for today, I think I'm just going to make the brown overshift kind of thing, and then tomorrow I will make the skirt. And then for the corset, I think I'm just going to use one that I already have because I'm lazy and it's brown and naturey and it works. And then the third day I'm going to be making the witch hat, which I am most excited for. So, explaining all of that, as a side note, I have changed my Etsy shop name to Heather Sigler Goods because I am planning on selling things that are not exclusively crochet in the near future. So get excited about that. I can use some of my scrap fabric to make some things that I will show you once I post them. So get ready for that. Anyways, let's get into some sewing. Alright, so the first thing that I have to do is I have to cut out the pattern. Now this is quite an old pattern that my mom had actually, for when we were younger, so it does only go up to a size 14. So to cut out this pattern, I'm going to trace over it and then size it up just a bit to fit my size, which is usually 20-22-ish whenever I get a pattern. So I'm just going to size this up and then cut the materials out of the fabric. Now that the materials are cut out, I'm going to serge the edges of all of the curved skirt pieces and top ruffle piece so that I don't have to add 2 layers and so that it doesn't fray. And the only color that I have is white for that, so it is all going to be serged in white. Now that those are all serged, it is time to start putting it all together. So the first thing that goes together is the arms. So I need to sew the lower ruffle to the upper sleeve, and then I end up taking that seam and sewing it like about this far apart onto the sleeve, and then that's where I add my elastic. So once I add my elastic, this is going to have a lot of elastic. Once I add my elastic, I go ahead and sew the sleeve to each side of the front and back bodice. It'll make more sense when I show you. To the front and back bodice, and then once I do that, I can sew the side of the bodice together and then the side of the arm together, or sew the arm closed. And I'm gonna do that on both sides. Now that that is all sewn, it is time to add the top ruffly bit, and that is also going to be a place for the elastic, so it is all going to cinch in so it'll sit on my shoulders nicely. So to do that, it's a little complicated. So I think the way that I do it is I sew it like right side to wrong side, like so how you would normally look at it, and then I fold it up, and then I sew the elastic channel onto the bodice top, and then once I put the elastic in, the thing will just come back down, and I think it'll look normal. So let me just show you how I did that. Alright, now that that top bodice piece is all done, it is time to do these skirt pieces. So what I'm going to be doing is sewing the upper peplum panels together, and then I'm going to sew the bottom peplum panels together, and then I will sew them both together, right side to wrong side, so like how I would normally look at it, and then that gets sewn to the bodice, and then an elastic channel is sewn, and then I have my outer shift thing. So let's go see that. Alright, so the outer under shift kind of thing is all done, and that is it for today. So tomorrow I will be working on the skirt. So I will see you then. Alright, welcome back to day 2. So yesterday I made the whole under shift kind of thing, and that's all done. So today I have to make the skirt out of the green lace that I dyed from that massive curtain. So basically what I'm going to be doing is cutting a bunch of rectangles. Just a bunch of them. Then I'm going to sew them together, and I will come back to tell you what I do next. So I didn't French seam the skirt like I normally would because the lace is pretty tough, so I just ended up pinking the edges with my pinking shears. So now the next step to do is to make the top waistline elastic channel. So that is also going to be elastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to fold it like a hem, and I'm just going to leave like this much space for me to slip an elastic through with a safety pin. And then I'm just going to slide that through and then sew up the elastic. And then after that, the last step is to hem it, and the skirt is done. So I will see you after that. Okay, so the skirt is done, and I think I might call that for today, and then just wait till tomorrow to do the hat, so I will have some free time to do some other stuff for my Etsy, possibly. So I will see you tomorrow in day 3. Okay, welcome back to the final day / day 3. So today I'm going to be making the witch hat, which I am very excited for. So the first thing that I have to do is I'm going to cut out the pieces for the witch hat and sew it together. It seems like a fairly quick process off of the video that I saw. So I'm just gonna go do that. So what I have to do is cut out a circle rim thing and then like a triangle, and I'll just sew them together. So I will see you after that. Now that the witch hat is made, I need to find some way to keep it standing. So I think for the rim, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some pretty thick wire that I have, and I'm just going to measure it to about the circumference of the rim, and I'm going to just stuff that right into the rim, and it should keep the rim up. And then for the hat to stand up, I think what I'm going to do is maybe shove a wire, that same wire, up into the tippy top on the seam. And then I think what I'm gonna do is maybe stick some more wires up there. We'll see. Okay, so what I ended up doing is I tried to stick a bunch of wires up in the tip of the hat. That didn't work very well, so I took all the wires out but the one that was in the seam, in like the seam part. And then I made so I took the same measurements for the cone of the hat, and I just took some like white sheet and I basically made like a pillow of it. I just like kind of made that and then stuffed it with a bunch of stuffing and I shoved it up there. So I think that's gonna work because that sits fine on my head and then I can still use the wire to like shape it. So that's kind of what's going on inside of that hat. It works. So to make the mushrooms, I think what I'm gonna do is like a shelf mushroom kind of look. So they're kind of interesting looking, but what I'm gonna make it out of is foam clay, because I didn't have like clay, but also foam clay is much lighter, so I feel like that would be better for this hat. So I'm gonna make it out of some foam clay, and then I'm going to paint it white because the foam clay is gray. So I'm gonna paint it white just to get that initial gray out of there, and then I'm just gonna use some acrylic to paint the colors that I want. So let's go see that. So the mushrooms are done and they are dry enough, so I'm going to start sticking everything onto the hat. So I bought this moss that I'm just gonna put on the hat, but I think I'm gonna put the mushrooms on first. And I'm just gonna use hot glue for all of this, so nothing fancy. So let's get into decorating this bad boy. Okay, the hat is done and it looks really good, so I'm excited. So that is everything. So I guess I will see you in the reveal. Okay, well, I am extremely happy with how all of this came together. Honestly, it's all about the layering. Like, this is probably gonna be my next Ren Fair costume because layers. In my mind, I was like, I have no idea how this is actually gonna come together, and then as soon as I put on the hat, it ties together so well. So yeah, the hat is probably one of my favorite parts of this whole costume. Like, look at them little shrooms. Very happy with that. Also, just like the fact that I was able to manage to make a freaking witch hat, and it was so easy. I did not think it'd be that easy, and it was. My hat keeps getting caught on things, and it was. I just absolutely love how this thing turned out. Like, with the pattern, it was like really confusing with the elastic, and I had no idea what was going on until it was put together, but it worked. And then when it's like hanging up on like a little clip, it literally looks like something you could get at like the Ren Fair, and I'm just super happy with it. And I'm glad I thought to like layer the like ruffle skirt underneath, because that just adds to it, adds to the poofiness and the layers and everything. And then like tucking the green skirt was a good idea. I do wish I would have made a green corset, but I was just tired. So, and I had this brown one that's all naturey anyways, so I just threw that on, and I think it all works. So I had a lot of fun this month. All of this stuff is not stuff I would normally be making, and I'm just like honestly surprised about how each of them turned out. Like, they actually turned out really good, so I am excited to do this next year. Hopefully I'm still doing this by then. And I could definitely wear this to the next Ren Fair, which I'm excited about. I keep saying that about like every new outfit that I make, but this is one I might actually wear to the next Ren Fair. So yeah, I thank you if you stuck with me for this month. It was just a lot of fun, and I love Halloween. So next week is going to be back to regular sewing content, and I do have some things planned, especially with the holiday season coming up, so get ready for that. Again, my Etsy shop name has changed to Heather Sigler Goods, as I am almost ready to put up some new stuff for my shop that is not just crochet. So get ready for that and give it a visit whenever. Again, my Twitter is at Heather Sigler, so you can get updates for when I post, why I didn't post, all that such. And then my Instagram is also Heather_Siggy, Siggi. So you can check out that. I also post updates for when I do post on my stories for Instagram, although I do not post quite a lot on my actual Instagram. So give those a look if you'd like. If you liked what I did, go ahead and like and subscribe. I post most Fridays, mostly at noon, and I will see you next week. Thank you for watching.